Alright guys, so today's video is pretty much going to answer the question that I get asked more than anything. I always get asked, what is my daily driver when it comes to earbuds? What's my go-to? What's, my favorite? And that's always kind of hard to answer, and I think I always kind of surprise people when I give the answer that I do. I think most people expect me to say the Sony XM5s, or the Bose Quiet Comfort series, or Sennheiser, or anything that is more of an earbud that you would find on the shelf, or something that's more mainstream. And when I tell people that it's the Soundpeats Opera 05, I initially get this look of, who's Soundpeats? Or I've never heard of that pair. And I want to do this video, one, to just, finally answer the question of what my favorite earbud is, but also just kind of explain why it's okay to just like something different. So we're going to talk about a lot of the features and the things that the Soundpeats has to offer. This isn't going to be like a full-on review video because I've already covered this, but let's go ahead and start with what these do not have, and a lot of the complaints that people do have about these earbuds, because I noticed that a lot of people had issues with the fit. I mean, it's definitely a bigger earbud. It does kind of stick out a little bit more, so I don't know if it's going to just fit in everybody's ears the same. It does not have the noise canceling that the Sony and the Bose has. I mean, it has noise canceling. It's just nowhere near as good as the Sony or Bose. And it doesn't have a great app either. I mean, Soundpeats has an app, and it's enough to get you by with the basic stuff like the EQ options, making sure your earbuds are updated and things like that. But it's not an app that is as good as Sony's. And this pair also does not have wireless charging, which usually is a feature that I look for in a pair of earbuds. So as you can tell, there's really just a lot of things that aren't so great about it if you want to look at it when it comes to features. But when I look at an audio product, or if I'm looking at, earbuds or headphones, audio is always my top priority, because features are nice, but I don't really find it as important. And I think some people, gravitate towards features a little too much. I mean, if you're going to be listening to your earbuds or headphones at home most of the time, and you're really going to be listening to them in a room by yourself most of the time, is noise canceling that important? And if battery life is good on a product, like they are with the Opera 05s, I mean, you can get 9 hours on a single charge on the earbuds before even needing to charge them again, and you get 33 hours total in the case. So is Qi wireless charging that important if you're not really going to be charging it that often anyway? And then the app, once you kind of have things dialed in and set the way that you want, it's not going to be something that you're going to that often. So is the app that important? I think the main importance out of the things that I've listed so far is, yes, the fit is important. It is important. If, an earbud is not going to fit you correctly, you're just not going to be able to enjoy it. If you don't have a good seal with the right silicone ear tip or foam ear tip or whatever, you're not going to get the most out of that earbud. So fit, I definitely understand why that's important. So if the Opera 05 does not give you a good fit, it's obviously not going to be the earbud for you. But the sound that these are high-res, wireless certified, because they support LDAC. That is some of the best Bluetooth codec that you're going to get. It is the closest thing to CD quality that you're going to get. And it also uses a 12mm dynamic driver mixed with 2 balanced armature drivers. This is a dynamic sounding earbud. It is not meant for people that are looking for a flat sound or a reference sound or anything close to just being neutral. That is not what this pair is. It is definitely dynamic. It delivers so much punch in the low end, and I'm kind of a bass head, so that's what I look for in a pair of earbuds. I want something that's boomy. I want something that's punchy, but I also want something that's very detailed. So I need those brighter trebles. I need the mids to be pushed forward, but I really still want that punchy bass. So, it needs to have the lows pushed up. It needs to have the treble pushed up. That is a sound signature that I like. And for the most part, that is a Harman curve. That is that consumer-friendly sound signature that, most companies try to go for, but not all companies pull this off very well. I'm still somebody that's going going to say that I'm not as impressed with the XM5s this year as I was with the XM4s. I don't feel like I'm getting the best fit out of them. I don't feel like the noise canceling is as good as the XM4s. And so I'm just not on the hype train when it comes to the XM5s. That's kind of the short explanation of that. In Soundpeats, again, it's one of those companies, I don't know if I kind of just root for the underdogs. It's a company most people were never going to hear of unless you watch channels like this. I love covering Soundpeats. I love covering Earfun. I love covering Tozo. There's a lot of these like under the radar type brands that I think offer so much value that, you don't have to spend the $300+ of the more expensive brands when you can get pairs like this where the Opera 05 comes in at $100. That is their retail price. You can get 3 pairs of the Opera 05 for what you can get 1 pair of the XM5s or the Bose Quiet Comfort Ultras or, Quiet Comfort 2s. It's so impressive to me, the sound quality that I get out of these. That is why I reach for these more than I reach for any other pair. And my second place, and the other brand that I'm a huge fan of, is Status Audio. So the Status Between Pros and the Between A and C, those are some of my favorite earbuds as well. They're not the most prettiest looking earbuds, kind of like the Opera 05. I don't really love the gold look that these have, but it doesn't really matter. Once it's in my ear, I don't see it anyway. And as long as it functions the way that I need it to and it delivers the audio quality that I need it to, all of that other stuff really just does not matter. Unless you are somebody that cares a lot of how things look and how people perceive you. And I think this is kind of a little side rant here. I would love for people to get out of that. I don't think you just need to gravitate towards what is marketed and think that that's the only type of products out there. And I don't think you should go for subpar products because it's what's mainstream. I mean, there's so many people that have regular AirPods, and I'm glad people are happy with those. But I think from a sound standpoint, the regular AirPods aren't really that great, and especially in their price range. I mean, the AirPod 3s, I believe, retail for $150 or $170, and there are so many better sounding earbuds. And sound is subjective. If you are completely happy with the AirPods, or you're completely happy with the Bose or the Sony, and you're fine with spending that price tag on them, I'm happy for you. I really am. I mean, the whole purpose of this channel is to talk about audio products that I'm impressed with, that I would love for people to know about. And I've covered a lot of the mainstream ones as well. There's some that I am a huge fan of. I'm not saying just because it's marketed, heavily and it's on the shelf and it has commercials that it's not a good product. I absolutely do not feel that way. I feel like there's some really good ones out there, but I don't feel like those are the only products out there. So that's why I love to do videos like this. That's why I want to tell as many people as I can about the Soundpeats Opera 05, about the Status Between Pros. There's some incredible sounding earbuds that are doing some pretty impressive things when it comes to drivers. There's so many drivers in the Opera 05, and it's giving you just subwoofer type bass. It's so much brightness in the treble that you're hearing every little subtle detail. And mids, I'm so impressed with this pair. I know it sounds like I'm going in circles, but I fall back on audio quality. Again, I think a lot of people get caught up in features. And if you're looking for those specific features, then obviously it makes sense. But don't just compare earbuds based off features and kind of put audio, in the background, like it doesn't matter. I mean, audio should be the most important thing. At least it is for me when I'm looking for an audio product. And again, that's why I wanted to talk about these. But guys, that wraps up my video. It's, again, kind of a side rant, but just talking about, not necessarily jumping out and buying what you see out there or what you see that everybody's wearing. You can think outside of the box and see that there's some really impressive products from other companies out there. But guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.